Hey, good morning, everybody. Happy Friday. Happy Visionary Friday. I'm going to try to get moving this morning because I am short on time as I did wake up late. But today, Visions Friday, it's called Niche Fluidity. And this is going to be part one. I'm going to do a part two of this series for Vision Friday. So, good morning. Happy Friday. I'm glad that you are joining me. And we're talking about niche fluidity, and this is going to be part one. Okay. So if you're watching me on the replay, please put in hashtag replay for me and just let me know that you are here and watching me and joining in on the conversation. Feel free to ask questions. Feel free to get in on the conversation. And for those who don't know me, I am Ty Young. I am a visionary business coach, and I am the force behind 624 Visionaries, where your true self meets unprecedented success, cultivating ideas that redefine in industries, right? So that is what I do here at 624 Visionaries, is where we venture beyond traditional coaching to unlock the heart of your entrepreneurial spirit with a focus on empathy, resilience, and authenticity. I guide you through a journey of self discovery to unearth your signature echo, that unique impact only you can make in the world. Together, we don't just chase success, we redefine it, crafting $1 million ideas grounded in your truest self. So let's transform your vision into a legacy. So that is what I do here at 624 Visionary. So we're going to jump right into it because, again, I don't have a lot of time. Thank God for replays. So if I move fast through something, you have the replay to rewind and go back. So today we're talking about niche fluidity in your business, right? So first of all, what is a niche in business? A niche in business is what you're best at, basically what you're specialized in, what you specialize in an interest or market. Um, what is fluidity? Fluidity is just a flow. It's subject to change. It's something that easily flows from one thing to the next. So when we think about fluidity in business, especially within your niche, basically the concept is that as you evolve, your niche may evolve. Or your niche may become fluid. Your business may become fluid. And in this part one, at the end of this part one, I'm going to give you four examples of businesses that you know and how they did this fluidity and how they operated in this fluidity, and how you won't be exempt from the fluidity because basically fluidity is evolution in your business, right? And it's innovation and it's change in your business. And I feel like all businesses, especially if you want to be like multi-billion dollar conglomerates, you're going to have some fluidity um in your business. And it makes me think about something that I was watching. So I have subscription to Masterclass. No, I'm they don't pay me to promote them, but I should be working on a promotion thing with them, right? But anyway, I was watching this masterclass, and I was watching Mark a Cuban masterclass, and he talked about how, like, just let's do away with the business plans. He said because some people get so stuck on the business plan and what they wrote in their business plan that they get stuck when it's time to innovate or when it's time to um evolve, that they get stuck and say, well, I can't change or I can't do this because it's not written in my business plan. So this is kind of like what we're talking about with niche fluidity, and why it's important to allow it to flow and evolve in the way that it needs to evolve when it's time to evolve. And that's when you have to really pay attention to your business. So let's get right into point one. Point one is your niche as a reflection of expertise and interest, as we talked about before. So your niche is like traditionally seen as a specific area where a business or individual has a high level of expertise or a unique offering that distinguish them from their competition. So basically, that is traditionally what a niche is categorized as. and it's closely tied to what you're passionate about and what you excel in. So your perspective on niche as something that evolves with personal interest. So you have to really dig deep into like what do you really want to do, right? And you have to remain adaptable, right? Remain adaptable within your passions and look at the trends and look at where you shine at. Look at where you shine at and look at how this really can be a reflection of what you do best. Because I feel like nobody should operate outside of what they do best. And that's just point blank, period. Nobody should operate outside of what they do best. So you need to really focus on your niche as a reflection of your expertise and your interests, right? And what better to really operate into something that you're very interested in? And we've talked about this over and over again, but sometimes people hop on trends and sometimes people hop on the newest, greatest craze or whatever. And it doesn't always translate well because it's not really something that they're interested in, but they're pulling down or pulling into it as what's considered like a money grab, right? So then the next part, we want to go into fluidity as a business strategy. So when you look at how you want to start off with the idea that you're going to evolve, right? I feel like when you're coming in business, like you can have your bright idea and you can have your today is the main idea, right? You can go into say today is my main idea. Today I'm starting this business with this particular end goal, right? And so I believe in this concept, and I don't know where I heard it from, and I don't know who I got it from, but it's like every time you reach the top level, you want to go to a new level and you're going to start at the lowest level. So you start from 0 and then you go to 10. And then when you get to 11, you're at the bottom because you're trying to get to 20, right? And then when you get to 20, you're at the top of that level, right? But then you want to go to 30. And then you have to look at your business strategy or look at your business fluidity as a business strategy, right? Um so it's basically an inherited characteristic of your niche's challenges, right? It challenges your conventional wisdom. It challenges you about being strictly rigid, right, to a single niche, right? It challenges you. So to not get, you don't want to get stuck there, right? Um, you don't want to get stuck there. You want to always focus on evolution. You want to always focus on innovation. And when I think about that, it makes me think of the movie that I watched about the BlackBerry company, and how because technically they were like the world's first smartphone, but because of sticking rigidly to their original mode or their original thoughts, they were not able to innovate and take over the market when Apple came into play, right? When Apple introduced their smartphone, because they were so strictly rigid and not able to be fluid in their business strategy and their business innovation, they fumbled and I mean, I don't know where they would be today because I loved BlackBerry when I had my BlackBerry, right? But I had no other choice but to evolve with the next company that was doing it better because BlackBerry just dropped the ball. And you do not want to drop the ball in your business. You do not want to be so strict on this is my idea, this is my plan, this is what I want to do that you do not evolve and put yourself in a place where you can remain on top, you can remain competitive, you can remain a brand that's within the conversation of other brands that's within your competition, right? So you want to remain fluid in your business. The next one we're going to talk about is implications for growth and innovation, right? So when you have fluidity in your business, when it could be the single driver of your growth and innovation. So that was like a good segue into this part of it. Like niche fluidity can be a significant driver for growth and innovation. It encourages your business to stay closely connected to your customers and their evolving needs. So your innovation and your growth is not just about you. It's not just about your new ideas. It's not just about the new things that you can come up with. It's about also what do your customer base want. So going back to the example of using BlackBerry as a foundation to from fluidity as a business strategy to implications of growth and innovation, right? So as a BlackBerry, I loved BlackBerry, right? I just loved it. That was just that was my status symbol, okay? Because we all use our phones as status symbols, okay? Whatever you have, the Apple and the Androids or whatever. Okay, I'm a Samsung girl, but okay, let's go back to BlackBerry. So with BlackBerry, I loved BlackBerry. It was just something about it. Can I tell you exactly what it was that was about BlackBerry? I don't know what it was, but had they were able to really so one of the main things that forced me to e- move on to like the Samsung and the Galaxy phone was because BlackBerry, because they were so behind and so rigid in how they were in their stipulations and their I forget I don't know the word I want to say, but in their recommendations or requirements for apps for their phones, a lot of app builders weren't able to build apps that worked great around their technology. So they had no other choice but to only focus on Apple and Samsung. So I remember like trying to get Facebook on my BlackBerry. It just was really it was just really glitchy when I was trying to do Instagram on my BlackBerry. It was just very glitchy. So they forced me as a customer because they weren't listening to us. Like the customer is saying, like, we love BlackBerry, but you need to evolve. You need to get in, you need to make it to where we can still have the same flow and fluidity as the customer that these Apple customers and these Galaxy customers are having so that we can be in the game. We can be on social media. We can search the web. We can do all the things that we want to do, but still hold on to our Blackberries. And BlackBerry dropped the ball in that. So this is when I always want to go back and point out your growth and innovation and being fluid in your business is not just not just what you want to do, but paying attention to what your customers need you to do, paying attention to how your customers need you to evolve, how they need you to pivot, how they need you to adapt in business so that it's a well-rounded growth for your business. Okay, so then we'll also move on. So let me just go back and check in. So we are doing this is part one of niche fluidity. And at the end of this, I'm going to go through 4 companies that have successfully done niche fluidity and how their business is just the bomb. Like these are just going to be some good case studies. So if you are catching me in the middle, you can always go back to the replay once this is over. We're moving through pretty quickly, so you can always just go back. So next thing we're going to go through with balancing consistency with adaptability, right? So again, you all know I'm ringing to the rooftop about staying consistent. Let me tell you, the last 3 weeks have been a struggle for me to be consistent, but nevertheless, I have chosen to be consistent, not just to my business, but being consistent to Vision Friday. So even this morning, I did not want to get in here and do Vision Friday. Not and mostly because I felt like I still needed to study this topic because I've been studying the topic, but I feel like there were still some things that I just wanted to get into. So I said, you know what? So adaptability. So this is a great segue into this balancing consistency with adaptability because I feel like I still need to do some research about things. I decided at the blink of a hat this morning when I was getting ready, it's going to be a part 2 because there are some parts that I still need to study. I need to get deep into my spirit. So I'm going to talk about the things that I am familiar with. I'm going to talk about the things that I understand incessantly on today. And then next week, when I come back for part 2, the other parts that I still need to get deep into me, I'll have that. So that's just a real quick, about how you have to be adaptable, right? So it's one of the challenges with being having a niche fluidity is maintaining a recognizable brand and identity while allowing your business to focus on evolution, right? So you have to get this balance. You have to have good, you have to know how to just like easily flow into things, right? And I feel like easily being able to easily flow into things is, it's like your business have to be second nature to you. You have to be so closely knitted to your business that it's just second nature. And then when it's time to evolve, you can sit into that, right? You can sit in your business. It's like this is you, and then there's a skin, and then this is your business, right? And so you have to just kind of really focus on your business, and it becomes a second skin so that you can flow easily. Good morning, sister. And yes, thank you. I am so proud of myself for being consistent. I'm going to have a consistent party when I reach episode 25. So somebody hold me to that fire. When I get up to episode 25, I'm going to have a consistency party. Okay. So yeah, so you want to just keep this balance to having balance and consistency in your business. It helps you achieve, that you can achieve and ensures you that like when you do your changes and when you do your expansions that they're still connected to like your original mission, your original values, your original business, but you've evolved to serve your core mission, but not changing the mission itself. So you want to evolve to serve your core mission, but not change your core mission itself, right? So we're gonna get into our case studies. This is my favorite part of this, of this, because it's gonna highlight these four businesses, right, that have successfully navigated niche shifts, okay? Still focusing on their core values, but their niche shifted and they did not lose their brand identity. Okay. And so I'm going to talk about these four ones. It's going to be good. Okay. So, first one is Apple. You all should have known that I was going to talk about Apple. So, their initial niche was personal computers. That's how they got into the game with their personal computers. And while they still have personal computers, but their evolution was Apple transformed from a computer manufacturer to a leader in consumer electronics with the introduction of the iPod, the iPhone, and the iPad. And they successfully ventured into digital services like with iTunes, the Apple Store, and more recently, subscription service like Apple Music and Apple TV, right? So how did they do it? Apple focused on innovation, user experience. So again, keeping that user in mind. Your innovation as a business owner is not just about you as the business owner. It's not just about what you want to do in your business. Your user, your customer experience, right? And design excellence, right? So that is what a lot of Apple users like about Apple. They like to me, I don't like their interface. I prefer Galaxy's interface over Apple's, but nevertheless, that is what a lot of Apple users like. They like the streamline. They just like the I call it boring, but some people like it, okay, but they like that just, straight to the point streamline type of situation, right? And they just like how it looks. They like the feeling of it, right? But so by continuously exploring new technologies and customer needs, keep that in mind, right? They expand their product offering well beyond their original niche. So, right, as we evolve the technology, Apple was like, okay, people want more. They want a little music device in their pocket because we had the Walkman, right? We had the CD player Walkman, right? So let's make it better. Let's make it to where you don't have to keep putting CDs in and out of a CD cassette or putting tapes in and out of a tape cassette. Let's make it to where they have all this music at the palm of their hands. iPod, iPhone. Let's make it so we're going to take BlackBerry's idea and we're going to make an even greater smartphone and we're going to make it touchscreen, right? Okay. And then the iPad, we're going to give them something a little bigger that they can use. And so you get the point. So that is how Apple successfully had niche fluidity in their business. Okay. The next company we're going to talk about is Netflix. Okay. So Netflix, their initial niche was DVD rental services. I remember when Netflix first came out. When I tell you I was getting popping them those those CDs back and forth. And like when I'm watching one movie and I put it in the little case and then I send it off. I remember when I had initially had DVD services through Netflix, right? So what was Netflix's niche and evolution? Netflix evolved into a streaming service and then further into content production, becoming a dominant player in the entertainment industry with its own Netflix originals. And if I'm not mistaken, I think Netflix, they were the first to do this within their they were the first to have like originals, right? They were the first to have originals. I don't think Hulu or I don't think Hulu or what's the other company? The other streaming services had their own originals. I think Netflix was the first to do it, right? And then how did they do it? Netflix adapted to technology advancements and changing consumer viewing habits. So again, if you go back and watch this over again, you're going to see a constant theme. You cannot have evolution in your business without your customer input. Okay? You got to have the customer input. Your evolution will will be centered around to what your customers want, right? So how did they do it? Their shift to streaming services and investment in original content capitalized on the growing demand for on-demand entertainment, demonstrating a key understanding of market trends, right? So consumer viewing habits were one of let's stop first. Let's go back. So they first started off as a DVD rental services. So they understood that people, with the change in how people flowed and how the change in people operated, that they understood that people didn't want to go to Blockbuster anymore. They didn't want to go to the local store. They wanted to be able to go online, look and see what movies that they can rent, and then rent those movies, have somebody send it to their house, and all they got to do is put it back in the little sleeve when they're done with it and ship it back to where it needs to go. And they figured out how to do that. So maybe not somebody didn't ask for that. Maybe that was their original idea. That was customer based, but then was also the brainchild of the person that started Netflix. But then as their viewers started working and started using the services, they understood that based on customer viewing habits or customer needs that they had to evolve. And now it's streaming. You can watch it online now. Now you can now also, instead of just watching all of your old shows and the old things, let's create new shows that will help our audience stay connected to our platform, because there's only so much of the old shows or old sitcoms and things that you can watch. Okay, what are you going to do to evolve to keep me invested and interested in your business model? That is what Netflix did. Okay, moving along to Amazon. Amazon started off as an online bookstore. Their niche evolution. Amazon expanded into a one-stop shop for virtually everything, including electronics, fashion, and groceries. They also ventured into cloud computing with Amazon Web Services, streaming with Amazon Prime Video, and more, right? So how did they do it? Amazon's customer-centric approach led them to continuously explore new market opportunities. Their willingness to experiment and innovate across different sectors, transforming them into a global e-commerce and tech giant. So that is what Amazon did. I remember ordering books exclusively on Amazon. I feel like I'm old, right? I feel like I grew up with these companies, right? So I started with them ordering books, and then as they began to add different things, oh, I could buy electronics on Amazon. Okay, let me try that and see. And they evolved again, getting things faster. How many times would you prefer to shop on Amazon because you have Prime, where you know you can get it within 1 to 2 days versus another company that may may offer you the same thing, but their shipping time is going to be like a week or two. So Amazon even evolved. Now they have hubs in more major metropolitan centers where they have like the little place where all of your stuff, where they have most of their popular items housed in a warehouse so that it can get to you even faster, even same day now. Because I live in Chicago and there's like 5 different central hubs that allow for them to give me stuff the same day within hours sometimes, right? So that's a great example of niche fluidity. I have 2 more. I'm trying to hurry up because I am really short on time today. So fourth one is Nintendo. So did you know this, that Nintendo initially started off with playing cards? They had playing cards and then they had video games. So playing cards came first and then they did video games. So their evolution was Nintendo shifted their focus several times from toys and video games to creating groundbreaking game consoles like the Wii, which appeal to a broader audience, and the Switch. My son loves his Switch. I mean, loves his Switch, okay? Which combine portable and home gaming. So how do they do it? Nintendo stayed true to its core mission of entertaining and engaging customers through innovative design and technology. Their ability to adapt and reinvent gaming experiences kept them relevant in a fast evolving industry. The key word again, thinking about your customer, gaming experiences. Okay. So that is what Nintendo focused on with for their customers. And then the last one is Google. We'll talk about Google. So Google started off as a search engine services. I remember Googling before the word was to Google it. I remember that. I remember when Google came out, and I remember I used to use Microsoft's Google search engine. And then when Google came out, I switched to Google, right? So, how did they evolve? Their evolution was Google expanded into a wide range of services and products, including email, which is Gmail, mobile operating systems, Android, cloud computing services, which is Google Cloud, and hardware, which is Google Pixel, and then even autonomous vehicles, Waymo, right? So, that was their evolution. So how did they evolve? How did they do it? Google's strategy has been to innovate aggressively and diversify its offerings by leveraging its massive data and technological capabilities. Google has successfully entered and often led new markets. So with Google, that is how they evolved. That is how they went from just search engine to saying, no, we want to own it all. We want to have it all. And they focus on really finding out what do the customers like, what do they want to see, and how would they like to see us evolve. So all of these brands, they demonstrated that with deep understanding of their core capabilities and customers' needs, combined with a willingness to innovate and adapt, businesses can successfully navigate niche fluidity. They've expanded their initial offerings to meet new challenges and opportunities, ultimately achieving significant growth in markets and leaderships. Okay. So this is going to conclude to our niche fluidity part one. So in this ever evolving landscape of business, the concept of niche fluidity emerges not as a challenge to overcome, but as a dynamic strategy to embrace. It invites us to view our niches as a static territory combined by the boundaries of today's expertise and interest, but a fertile ground of growth, innovation, and transformation, right? By adopting fluidity as a foundational element of our business strategy, we allow our passions and the evolving needs of our customers to guide us toward uncharted opportunities and untapped markets. Again, going back to my statement of what I do as a business coach or a visionary coach, where your true self meets unprecedented success, cultivating ideas that redefine industries. Okay. So just going back, so this journey it exemplifies by trailblazers like Apple, Netflix, Amazon, Nintendo, and Google, and it showcases the unparalleled potential of aligning core values with the courage to adapt, ensuring that our businesses not only survive but thrive in the face of challenge, and change. And as we navigate the complexities of niche fluidity, let us remember that it is through the delicate balance of consistency and adaptability that we carve our unique path forward, crafting legacies that resonate with authenticity and enduring impact. As visionaries, excuse me, as visionaries, our true north lies not in the safety of the known, but in the brave exploration of our new, continually redefining what it means to lead and succeed in a world that awaits our signature echo. Woo, that was a lot. So again, you have the replay to go into. So this is the end of part one. Next week, we're going to do part two of niche fluidity. And this is when we talk about, I'm going to give you some tools and techniques that you can use in niche fluidity. I'm going to offer you some risk management information, some topics about like soft topicing about personal branding and future proofing your business within your niche. Okay, so I can't wait to see you all next week for Vision Friday. We will talk soon again. Go to my website, 624 Visionaries, and you can get my book. You can get my book. If you haven't gotten my book, it's time to get my book. Um, it's how to fumble 10K in business. And you can get my book, How to Fumble 10K in Business, a guide to avoiding my costly mistakes and building a sustainable business. This definitely will get you some like help you really set your foundations and get you prepared to work with me and my community that I am currently building out, and that I'm hoping that like I'm trying to get all the framework together because I don't want to put it out there just yet because I want to make sure my foundation is set. So this can be your set foundation. This can be kind of where you start at getting your foundation together so that you can be prepared to work with me and you can be prepared to engage within my community. And if you haven't followed me on Instagram, on my Facebook page, or on my YouTube page, please hit that follow button. Please like and share. Please, if this has resonated with you, please make sure you tell somebody about me. And again, Ty Young, your visionary business coach. And I look forward to seeing you all again next Friday. Bye. Make sure you put hashtag replay. Make sure you share right now. Share this right now. Bye. See y'all later.